had a rough day today. It's my makeup is all over. I don't even care. Rough day again with St. Joseph's Hospital in Paterson, New Jersey. Another discharge, another unsafe discharge. They discharged my daughter without getting her evaluated through crisis. The ER doctor today at the 12 p.m. shift. I didn't get his name because he wouldn't give it to me, but he decided to take it upon himself to not contact crisis and tell crisis that my daughter needed to be evaluated. Instead, he went ahead and he discharged her. I went and I called him an idiot and a douchebag, because how does he discharge and just let somebody out who is not ready to be out? So I went through this whole thing where I had to put my daughter in the car. I had to drive 100 miles an hour just to get her into another place. And thank God they actually took her and are admitting her. So this just goes to show you how incompetent this hospital is. They do not care about drug addicted or mentally ill patients. The ER in St. Joseph's in Paterson is the worst place that you could put your loved one. It's like they don't care at all. And they have them in the beds, and they're not even in rooms, most of them. They're on the side, and they treat them like animals, like worse than animals. They pretty much just let them, when they sober up, okay, you're ready to go. That's it. They don't try to get them help. They don't try to do anything. These ER doctors, they're not wasting their time. They're just, whatever, it's going to happen again. Okay, see you next week. Worst experience, worst place. I called advocacy in St. Joseph's, and again, the advocate was like, oh yeah, don't worry, I'm going to go ahead and talk to them. And then I said to him, I said, well, you didn't do anything because they're discharging her. Oh, well, you just asked for an EKG and blood work. Yeah, I asked for both because my daughter needs to be treated like a patient and not a drug addict or mentally ill. She's mentally ill. She's got bipolar and stuff, and he just acted like there was nothing wrong. Crisis acted, well, the doctor is smart enough to go ahead and handle those situations. The doctor, he can make those decisions that a psychiatrist can make, apparently. So apparently ER doctors are now psychiatrists. So they're able to determine whether a patient needs further testing, further help, if they need to talk to a counselor or something. So I had no idea about that, but that's a new thing now. And crisis, of course they made a big deal. Of course I'm going to yell and scream, of course, because I can't believe that you guys are so incompetent. You don't know how to do your job. You call yourself doctors. You go ahead and take care of people. You give them medicine, but you don't have any compassion. You don't care. You don't care that there's a young adult female that needs help. You don't care to call crisis. You don't care to get her further help. And you just want to go ahead, you want to get rid of her. You want your little paperwork, and then you don't even put what you did on the paperwork. You just put... you put no. You said you did an EKG. You said that you did blood work. I don't see anything in her discharge papers. So actually, I don't think you guys did anything at all. So again, if you have a loved one, please do not take them to St. Joseph's, because it's the worst hospital, and you guys are not going to be happy with the hospital. So this is not over yet, because I am contacting the state, which probably the state doesn't do anything. They tell you write letters. I wrote them a letter. I still haven't gotten a response from the last time that I was at the hospital. They say that they're here to help, but actually they're not, because they're on the doctor's side. It doesn't matter. To them, it's like, oh yeah, we're here to help, but if the doctor makes that decision, oh well, he's smart enough. He went to school for 12 years, so, it doesn't matter. They don't make mistakes. They're doctors or whatever, They're put on a pedestal because they went to school for so many years. So they don't make mistakes, apparently. So, but this hospital makes plenty of mistakes. Trust me, they make plenty of them, and I've been through a lot with them. So it's not over yet. So I'm gonna definitely pursue something else. Go a different route. Maybe go to the newspaper. Maybe go to the news or something. Because this hospital, they have a history of a lot. They have a lot of history. I mean, they just beat up a kid. This cop beat up a kid in the psych unit. How you gonna let abuse happen in a hospital? I mean, there's a lot of stories that happen in this hospital that we don't know about. And trust me, these people, the advocacy, patient relations, all these people, they say, oh yeah, we're here to help. No, they're there to cover themselves when something happens. They're not there to cover the patient at all. So like I said, this is not over. I'm exhausted.